Hello, welcome back to Taco Potato Mustang. I'm Matt, and today we are joined by a special guest named Ben, who has come to visit us from North Carolina. If you don't know who Ben is, he drives a Raptor. That's the only important thing about him. That guy with the Raptor. So today, we are going to attempt to replace the power steering pump in the Fox body because the current power steering pump sounds like a screaming banshee whenever the car is running.
Prove it.
Stand by. Just need to get those keys.
For those of you keeping score at home, it's not supposed to make that whining noise when you're turning the wheels. Or ever.
Correct. Okay, we can start recording.
Nope. So those of you catching up, Matt has just given direction as the first thing we need to do is remove fluid from the pump using a turkey baster.
Woohoo! Well, as much of it as we can from up here. Woohoo!
Nasty stuff.
And then when we're done with this, we will disconnect the two of the hoses that are near the radiator. Tiniest flathead screwdriver. And we're going to do the thing. I hate you. Get away from me. Let's see if this will work. Maybe not. Maybe we do need a socket of some sort. Fucking hate.
I'm helping.
The world's worst cameraman.
Option number 2, tiny ratchet. Tiny screwdriver. Not working.
Let's see if we can make it work. I'll tell you if it's worth bringing the camera down here or not. Nope. What the? Why? What's the next smallest one after 5/16? 1132 maybe? If you ever did like a real-time video on like me installing something, it would be like a 48-hour video to find the right socket. Yeah. Maybe a metric will work. For those of you keeping track, we're now 0 for 2 on sockets. 0 for 1 on screwdriver. Yep.
Today's not going very well.
Off to an awful start. Also, another thing is anytime I ever read instructions on how to do a thing, the socket that people recommend is never the socket that I need.
Matt, how's that socket working for you?
It's finally working. Kind of. This is incorrect. I'm doing it wrong. Come on.
Your channel would be a lot better if you were good at this.
I know. I think that's really the opposite. People like it because they like to see me fail.
That's called foreshadowing.
It's coming. Maybe. Come on! I need to. So, oh my God. Eight. You're the worst, Ben. So the thing is like, fuck. Can you give me a flathead? Porfies.
Tiny?
Doesn't matter.
Regular.
Whatever. Thank you. I'm regretting the decision not to attempt to put the car up. I guess we could still do it.
What are we doing? We're not doing well, I can tell you that much.
Okay, that's something.
Did it just break?
No, I mean kind of, yeah.
So yes.
It's like the. Oh wait. Okay, hang on. We're making progress. Sort of.
I don't believe you, Matt.
Dug it. Sprayed with power steering fluid, Benjamin. Here it comes.
Whee! Success. Kind of.
Okay, that was great. Only took us like 4 hours. Okay, I guess I can do the next one. We'll probably need to get some new hose clamps. That's at least one trip to AutoZone. Get in the zone! AutoZone! Oh, that was a much better position. Okay. That's something. Ugh. Ugh. Ben, tell me a story.
One time at band camp.
That's the worst story ever. Come on.
Don't let it beat you, Matt.
It's beating me. Now I have to get this other hose clamp off.
Can you just pull the hose off and then take the clamp off?
It didn't seem like it was like loose enough when I did the first one, so I'm at least trying to get it like I can try, but yeah, it's just like it's on there pretty tight. Yeah, that's tight. Oh, there we go. I'm definitely think we're gonna need to replace this hose. It's like old as shit. Okay.
Got it.
Sort of. There we go. Hey!
Put some MAN in those ARMs.
Some what?
Man in your arm.
Man.
Man.
If you've never seen the Power Thirst video, you don't understand why that's hilarious. Oh, come on. Sweet Jesus. If only this tire wasn't in the way.
Does that help?
No, I hate you. Fat. You're the worst, Ben. The worst. I do think we are going to have to put the car up on jack stands.
We're gonna have to jack off the car.
Up. Up, not off. Why?
I found a solution to our problem. We'll just use this car. It already works. We don't have to fix anything.
Anything he wanted to see, he saw. I took him into my son.
Showed him his son's room full of pocket knives.
You can do it, Ben. Power steering works great in this car, Matt. Update. Matt has taken his own advice and we've lifted the car up on jack stands to provide some more space.
Correct. It was a smart idea. Good job, Matt. I think I need a more sturdy winter cap. God damn it, Ben. I hate you. Why is this hose not doing what I want it to do? It's like the hose clamp was on there for so long, it like created a permanent rubber hose clamp. You see this?
Yep.
Why? Why? Use it, yank it. This is the worst.
Update. This is the worst.
Maybe there's like...
Well, if you cut it and then you could use an X-Acto to cut it and then peel it off of there. By the way, while not necessary, it was a good idea to take off this tire to provide ample space to yank on the car as hard as you can.
Well, if we weren't going to have to replace the hose before, we're definitely going to have to do it now.
Update. We've resorted to destroying things.
Okay.
Fine.
God damn it. Ah! Yeah. So this is one of the hoses that runs from the power steering pump to the power steering pump cooler, which is this thing here. And the freaking end of the hose would not come loose, so we had to butcher it with a box cutter. And it took forever, but this is the end of the hose. And we'll probably have to replace that with something from AutoZone, and we're letting the rest of the fluid pump from the power steering pump drain out. So another problem that this of course is always a problem. So these are the two other ends of the power steering pump hoses that go to the actual steering steering, whatever the hell you call it, rack. And I'm realizing that the person whose video I watched did not have the tie rod ends, these pieces right here, which gave much easier access to the ends of these with wrenches. So I'm a little concerned about whether or not this will be able to be accomplished. We'll see. What in the hell? So, can you see where I'm pointing the light?
Yeah.
So that, yeah. So I got one of the hoses out. I just need to get the other one out from the steering rack. And then we can start working on pulling the actual power steering pump out if we can ever get the belt tensioner untensioned or whatever you call it.
Don't worry, I figured that part out.
Allegedly.
Thanks, Landon.
Landon lied to us. Oh, come on.
Here we are on day 3 of dealing with this.
Day 3, and we are still in the first hose. This is why people pay mechanics, because they know what they're doing, and then they don't have to do it. Ah! Excuse me. The next time when we're done with this whole process, and I tell you that I'm gonna try and change the rear main seal myself, remind me of this whole experience in great detail.
And then you fiddle fucked around with this hose for 2 hours, Matt. And you're gonna do that with an engine sitting out of your car?
Oh my God. Well, actually, no. Okay, finally got the other hose out. This is it. Got it out.
Took 2 days.
Took 2 days, and now Ben has to go back to North Carolina. Okay.
Glad I could help.
Good work. Okay, so now I think we need to disconnect the hose at the top, or on the actual power steering pump.
We have a special guest. Ringo's come to help with the car.
Ringo, help us out, dude. I am removing the other hose, by the way.
Ringo, come here. Come help.
Good.
Ringo.
Okay, Ringo. 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 Plots. Oh, you're already plotzing.
He's already plotzing. If you'd like kind of dangle it, get his attention with it.
Ringo.
Ready?
Plots.
Get it!
Victory! That was supposed to be a lot funnier.
You want to try?
So we got one of the hoses out. I put a vacuum tab here, and this one, what do you call this? The
pain in the ass.
this pain in the ass is like kind of stripped on the where you would grab it with a wrench. So we're gonna try to just loosen this clamp that holds the hose in place, and then loosen the belt tensioner thing or whatever, and then try and take the power steering pump off and just pull the hose out at the same time. So we'll see if that works.
We've not ruled out lighting it on fire, so stay tuned.
There's always fire. We just found a video on the internet, which is always the best way to figure out how to do a thing. And we are going to use this pulley removal tool to try and get this pulley off of the power steering pump. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a try.
You're gonna want to hold that still, idiot.
What?
In the video, he was holding this still because
pulley?
it spins like an idiot.
I'm going to get a... Also, he didn't tell us about that.
For the record, I watched him do it.
Do what?
Hold the pulley.
No, I said he didn't tell us about the power steering fluid that just went flying out everywhere. You didn't notice that?
No.
He held the pulley?
Yeah,
What if my hand flies off?
it won't. Wait, 2 hands.
I always forget which one is forward. It seems like it's coming up. Victory! Dun 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 dun! Wow. That was pretty impressive. We have another special guest.
Hello, Floofmeister.
Removing the 3 bolts that hold the power steering pump to the power steering pump bracket. See if this. Power tools make everything easier. Bam, ba-da-dum, bam, bam. Okay, now we just need to sort of clean this off a little bit, and then put the new power steering pump on this and put the pulley on. Perfect. So now we're going to put the bracket on the replacement power steering pump. Just ignore the fact that it's not super shiny and clean because we're lazy.
It's cleaner than it was, though. Well, there's that.
I want to say that I want to say that it's 40 foot-pounds is the is how much you torqued it down, but we'll double check.
How much do you twerk, Matt?
I do all the twerking.
Twerk it down
My twerking is
with 40 foot-pounds.
extremely bad. Come on. Also, we need to do something with this tiny O-ring, but I'm not sure exactly where it goes. It says the enclosed new rubber O-ring must be used to replace the old O-ring on the pressure fitting or the unit will leak. I'm assuming that this is the pressure fitting, but we will do some internet sleuthing before we make any executive decisions. The same thing.
What's the problem, Matt?
So we need to put the pulley back on the new pump.
Is it just the reverse process of the pulley removal tool?
I'm not sure.
Figure it out, Matt.
Well, you're supposed to be on the internet figuring it out, Benjamin. Why else are you here?
I have some shit going on, so hold on.
This guy's ridiculous.
Put a little bit of butter sauce on this shaft over here. Before you stick it.
A little bit of butter sauce. Because it says there, okay, so there's a power steering pump pulley installer. There's a power steering pump alternator pulley puller. Alternator. So this is the puller, right? Which we use. Hold on. Let's see what he does after the foot is
New pulley on the shaft, and this tool
Yeah.
So that one, yeah, that already has a cowling whipping thing on it.
Yeah.
Into the shaft. So put that in all the way until it bottoms out.
Matt,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
I'm trying to put the new hose on the power steering pump.
How's it going?
It's not going. It's taking a while. Ugh.
You have to put some butter sauce on there.
The butter sauce is not working. My powers are not many. I'm not doing the control arms. Positive thinking. Come on, hose!
The hose is on. Now it's time for a tiny screwdriver action again.
Tiny screwdriver. Wouldn't breathe for a minute if I was you, Ben.
It's a tiny screwdriver. It's tiny. It's death sentence.
That's a Kung Pao joke for nobody who's for people who've never seen that movie. You should watch it.
Ugh, it smells like fart in here.
Okay. So, okay, the other thing we need to figure out is where the hell does this thing? What the hell is this thing? Because there's this one that came with the power steering pump, and then these two power steering hoses also have little things that are green. Let's check out the instructions.
What are we doing, Matt?
We are lubricating the O-ring for the pressure fitting thing so that it can go onto the power steering pump. Assuming that I am doing this correctly.
That's not the part that goes into the pump, though.
No?
No.
Oh, you're right. The other way around. I mean, it still needs to go on there.
JK.
And we're using type F automatic transmission fluid.
F stands for Fox body. Maybe.
So, okay. That seems right. Okay. Got those on.
You're gonna want to put that in there.
Right.
That there. Matt.
But I wonder if we should wait until, because we need to torque this down, not a lot, but just to like 20 foot-pounds. So I wonder if we should wait until that is like mounted before we put this in. Although I'm not really sure how we would torque this down without, I mean, it'll just have to be hand tight, I guess. Okay.
Hi.
So, as you can tell, the power steering pump is now back in the car. So we got the pressure fitting line. This will run. We now have to connect this line to the steering rack, and then the power steering cooler, return, whatever it's called, this rubber hose that we had to pick up from AutoZone. We got to run that to the power steering cooling thing, and then we have one more hose over there that we need to run from the cooling thing to the power steering, or to the steering column. So progress continues.
Also, the belt tension. We replaced the. We put the tension. We release the tensioner to put the belt back on.
Correct.
And to make sure that all of the pulleys are on there properly.
Yep.
Yep.
Correct.
This segment brought to you by AutoZone.
AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Down here. Put the hose in.
What's the problem?
I mean, it's like it's kind of hard to get it like. I can't remember.
So we're questioning whether this line from the pump is supposed to go to that to the.
I don't remember if it goes to the top or the bottom of the. There's two. You know what I mean.
How does it feel to be back on the ground, not knowing what the fuck you're doing?
That's the story of my life. Jesus. We're trying to get the power steering pump line into the steering rack, but we're running into some space issues.
On a scale of 1 to ritual suicide, how do you feel about this, Matt?
I mean, honestly, it's fine. Because the control arms were as close as I was ever going to get to ritual suicide. Until I ever try to do a rear main seal. And then the people on the forums who are like, you could totally do this, are going to laugh and laugh and laugh. I'm like, what an idiot.
If it's on the internet, it has to be true, which means you can do it by yourself, Matt.
Yep.
In 2 hours.
Okay. Let's try.
We're now on day 6. This is not very fun.
I mean, there's worse things we could be doing on a Saturday. Like drinking beer and watching movies.
Day 7, Matt.
Day 7. We're still failing.
We finally got those stupid things.
It took an extremely long time to get the line from the... What?
Nothing.
Are you recording?
Yep.
It took a really long time to get the line from the power steering pump to the steering rack. And now we just have to get the lines into the onto the power steering cooler. And cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Oh no, there you go again. Something.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
The most efficient way that Matt could be underneath the car.
Ugh. This freaking AutoZone hose. Ah! The light. We're gonna put some fluid in the power steering pump and then check to see if there are any leaks. No. Red Red Wine should be playing right now.
I do have that song on my Spotify's.
I think I'm supposed to start the car to get the fluid to go down. I think.
What could go wrong?
Well, when I changed my coolant, let me tell you about.
Do you want to duck under there and see if there's anything dripping?
Yeah.
What's the verdict?
Looks great. We're all living a time. I'm not seeing anything that wasn't here earlier. So, like this. I'm wondering if I just put the wheel back on.
Not until we have it running, working, and perfect, Matt. Come on. Bush League. I connected your battery for you.
Okay, thank you.
Don't have to work around here.
Okay. Do I have the key for the Fox body or is it inside?
Don't know.
Got it. Light came on.
Go time. Moment of truth.
That doesn't sound good.
It's just doing that because there's not enough fluid in there. Probably.
Okay, so we had the lucky fortune of my neighbor and friend Chris, who is a mechanic, coming by to tell us that we were idiots and that we needed to kind of turn the wheel a little bit while the car was on to get the air bubbles out of the power steering fluid. And since we did that, the volume went down quite a bit. There's still a little bit of a whine, but my understanding is that there's no avoiding the whine unless you get rid of power steering on the Fox body. So we accomplished a thing today. We replaced power steering pump and all 3 hoses for the power steering pump, which is something that I have been meaning to do for months. Thanks, Benjamin, for your help.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll probably take it for a drive at some point and just make sure that it is, the power steering is functioning the way it's supposed to. But, yeah, I think it feels good to be done with a thing again on this car. And, hopefully, we will continue to make more progress in the coming weeks and months. Anyways, thanks for watching my video. If you're new to my channel and you like my video, please hit subscribe. Otherwise, keep an eye out. Or don't. Or don't. Keep an eye out for more Fox Body Project videos. And yeah, hope you're staying healthy. Hope you're staying safe. Peace out.